formula. For healthy joints, get 3 bottles for $47.97 or 1 bottle for $22.97. Get your supply today. Visit us online at riversideTaichi.com/joint balance formula.
Hieroglyphic Visions, a digital marketing services company. We provide digital services for your company, such as flyer design, online marketing, ad placement, logo design, and more. Contact King Gaddy at 706-914-6238 or email at kinggaddy7@gmail.com. Let me bring your vision to fruition. Peace.
Greetings, this is Professor Griff of Public Enemy. Welcome to the Oculus Inc. The Oculus, they are the ultra secret society. They are the ones that manipulate and control your perception. They're actually the gatekeepers of your perception. The Oculus are the ones that actually write the prescription. They are the ones to determine who and why you're seeing what you're actually seeing through signs and symbols. These signs and symbols, we see them every single day. Your banks, your fast food stores, energy companies, gas stations, car companies, sports teams, all of them have signs and symbols that they use in such a way where they speak a language to one another. These are the things that the Oculus controls. The Oculus Inc.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions. This is your host, Rich, once again with the living legend himself, Professor Griff. Welcome back, my brother.
Peace, Brother Rich, and it's always a pleasure to be black on the Underground Railroad. Black Magic 363, doing what you do. What's going on, bro?
Man, everything's good, man. It's always fun to have you back on the show, man. Sometime I remember when we first started the show, man.
Yeah. So what's happening, man?
No, man. Got to talk to you about some current events as usual. I just had the baby shower last weekend. So
congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm just getting the people been asking me when I'm gonna come by. I haven't been uploading that many videos lately. I've been kind of slow with that. So for the family, I've just been kind of busy with my queen and everything that's going on in my personal life right now. So I slowed down a little bit, but I'm going to pick back up in the next couple of weeks.
Right. Okay.
But, I don't feel the same if I don't touch base with you for so long. So I gotta, if I don't ask you a question, then, I start itching and shit, man.
Like I told you from the beginning, man, I'm here whenever you want to do it. Whatever it is you want to do, Brother Rich, we got to make this thing happen. That's why over the years, I support whatever it is that you're doing, man, for real.
Man, I appreciate it, my brother. And I want the people to make sure you support everything this brother got going on. But we're going to get to the show right now. I know that's what y'all waiting on. Griff, man, you've been very vocal throughout the years on Hollywood, the people behind the scenes, the casting couch, the so-called Illuminati, things that the narrative that Hollywood wants to follow and wants to create. You just been so vocal about everything that's going on behind the scenes in Hollywood, and you warned people about a lot of things before the Me Too movement and a lot of things that we've seen surface in the last couple of years. So this brother Katt Williams, who spoke out recently, he's been vocal throughout the last, throughout the years about Hollywood and people behind the scenes. And some of the things he has said reminded me of some of the things you have said.
Right.
So recently, the brother was interviewed in Atlanta on a radio station. He made some comments about Hollywood, about Tiffany Haddish, about Kevin Hart, about the narrative Hollywood wants to run with, and about, you know, them hand-picking people. Now, the reason why I want to talk about it is, first of all, we know how influential Hollywood is on the masses of our people. We know there's a culture of celebrity worship at this point, and we kind of want the people to know what's really going on out there. Some of it is smoke, a lot of it is smoke and mirrors, and a lot of it ain't what you may think it is out there.
Right.
So the brother was speaking on Hollywood, and he was talking about the agenda with Hollywood. One of the things that made me think about you was he talked about Tiffany Haddish blowing up. And we have talked a lot about in the past couple of years about this agenda where Hollywood wants to push interracial couples, interracial marriage, interracial this, for whatever reason. You know, we've talked about that past broadcast. People can look it up. Now with Tiffany Haddish, Katt Williams is saying that, you know, because of her being with a white man in the past, because of her making certain comments about white men publicly, and for other reasons, they allowed her to get to a certain level at a certain rate that other female comedians could not have gotten to. Now, what I want to ask you, Professor Griff, to start the show off with is that there's this thing in life where a person works hard. Tiffany Haddish was homeless at one point, according to herself and Kevin Hart. Now, a person that's homeless, it's kind of hard to tell them that they are being used as a pawn for a Hollywood agenda. All the person can see is how hard they worked. What's happening with Tiffany Haddish is an example of what happens to a lot of people. We're like, yo, they handpick Oprah, or I'm just saying people in general, not saying you in particular, Professor Griff, but yo, they handpick this one, handpick Oprah, handpick that one. The person that we're accusing, that we're saying benefited from that, is saying, nigga, I worked hard. Nigga, I worked harder than you ever worked. But we're saying, no, they have an agenda. Tyler Perry, they want to push their gay agenda. Tyler Perry might be like, hold up, nigga, do you know how much of my own money I invested in what I'm doing? So there's this argument where, nigga, I worked hard, you're bugging out, versus there's a narrative Hollywood wants to create, and they handpicked you. I want to talk to you about that, Professor Griff. Right. Need to talk to you about that. Give me your takes on what Katt Williams said, and also my opening statement and question, my brother.
Well, Brother Rich, to speak directly to your question, I heard Katt Williams and I watched the interview. I think it was on the Wanda Smith show, with Frank Ski, and they was having a conversation, and Tiffany Haddish name came up. And just by the way, just to let the people know, I think Tiffany Haddish is a beautiful woman. She works hard. You understand what I'm saying? She struggled to get where she is today. And no one could look at her and look at her career and say they would have done anything different. Some of us have done worse, Brother Rich. But me personally, I think that's a naturally funny sister. You understand? That's a funny woman. You understand what I'm saying? Not funny, but she's hilarious. She's good at what she does naturally. Yeah. And for her to take her natural born gifts and talent to make a way for herself so she's not sleeping in the back of her Lincoln Town car, 1968 Lincoln Town car, I applaud her struggle. You understand what I'm saying? I like Tiffany Haddish. You understand what I'm saying? But to answer your question, I think what Katt Williams kind of jumped the gun in trying to understand the average comedian struggle. Everyone has their own struggle. But I feel like Kevin Hart feel. Why would we want to down the Tiffany Haddishes of the world, who had the struggle that she had coming up, just trying to make a way for herself? That's just me on a human level. You understand what I'm saying? And then even if Katt Williams ran down the litany of specials and how much money he's made and that kind of thing, why wouldn't he or anyone else want to support another person's career, whether it's putting a good word for them or whether they, you you putting them on one of your shows. I understand, Katt Williams, that you put other women on your shows and you put them on your specials and this kind of thing, and you feel that Tiffany Haddish leaped right over all of these people and was handpicked by Hollywood. Well, let me tell you something. Not only Katt Williams, but the people that are listening right now. Katt Williams and everyone else know that's how Hollywood works. That's how they do things, Brother Rich. And we can't, I've already wrote it in my book, and we can't say anything different because I've been warning people, like you said, for a long time. That's the get down. That's how they get down. And we have to understand that. They will take somebody, some obscure comedian that's been doing their thing that's way in the background somewhere, and pick them over the established comedians that's been out there, to either prove a point or to support their hidden agenda, whether that hidden agenda be mind control in Hollywood, MK Ultra, whether they think that they have to use a trauma-based comedian or celebrity to help foster and push the agenda, whether they're trying to establish this whole Hollywood mainstream kind of globalist agenda, or maybe they have future plans for people like Tiffany Haddish. Maybe they use Tiffany Haddish in a game of comedic chess to neutralize the Moniques of the world. All of this could be true. But nonetheless, she had to get out of the situation that she had to get out of. That's the lens I'm looking at it through. I'm like, wow, I'm glad she got out of that situation where she's not sleeping in a car no more. Because there's about 5 agendas that are going on in Hollywood right now, and you mentioned them. It's the transgender agenda. It's the homosexuality agenda. It's the satanic agenda. It's the cloning agenda. There's a few agendas that's going on in Hollywood right now. And we see from what they're allowing to come out in the movie theaters, both television and small screen and big screen, and in the movies, what the agenda is. So that's my open statement, and I hope people can take what I'm saying, piece it apart, look into it, because there are different people that have huge platforms that have spoken on the whole Hollywood movie secrets and the whole agenda. They spoke on, I think Dave Icke was the one that exposed Hollywood's tranny agenda. And the satanic thing along with the Illuminati and that kind of thing I exposed a long time ago. So there's an agenda going on in Hollywood. Yes, of course. Can they use someone like Tiffany Haddish? Yes, they can use any one of us, Brother Rich, if we're not careful. That's my answer. I know that's a lot, but that's my answer.
Well, Katt Williams was talking about, I believe that I talked with you early in the year. I don't know if it was you or Blue Pill. It might have been Blue Pill about the Monique. You mentioned Monique, about the Monique situation with Netflix. And she wanted her community to boycott Netflix. Mm-hmm. And, I guess as a people, we've always had a regular job, so we don't understand business like an entrepreneur would understand business, like somebody who went to business school would understand business. And one of the things Katt Williams explained that I want to get your opinion on is that, it's nothing personal with Netflix, and they don't even have an opinion on comedy per se. What they're looking at is your numbers based on your last concert, show, or whatever. So based on Monique's numbers, they came up with that estimate. He's saying based on his numbers from his show, he got a $2 million offer. So he's saying that it's nothing personal. We just have to understand business. Now, is that something that we because, some people say we're quick to jump on the, protest this, protest that, but we have to have a firmer understanding of business before we, say things like that. So I kind of want to get your take on that, my brother.
I'm glad you asked me that question, and let me say something for the record before we move forward. I have nothing personal against Katt Williams. I've been wanting to talk to Katt Williams ever since I made the quote-unquote prediction about Katt Williams and this Illuminati thing. I was never able to reach him. I never really had a conversation with him, so I'd like to talk to him, but I don't want him to think that this is something personal against him. I'm just taking a different position that what Katt Williams is talking about when it comes to Tiffany Haddish. But myself and a few other people that I know in small circles, including Katt Williams, we all know that it doesn't work that way. On the surface, they look at your numbers. Behind the scenes, Brother Rich, and I think you know this, Brother Rich, is not what you know or how funny you are, it's who you know in Hollywood. That's exactly what it is. It's not what you know. It's who you know, because Bill Cosby was the safest, funniest dude that we knew growing up, right or wrong. How come his money and his numbers couldn't save him? You understand what I'm saying? There, Ari Spears and a whole bunch of other comedians, man, that I thought was funny as hell, never rose in the ranks to get the just due. I could name a few comedians that I literally fell out of my chair, buckling over with laughter, going to watch them when they came to town. Funny as hell, a lot funnier than a lot of other these comedians that are out there, but they never get the opportunity and they never get the chance. You know why? It's not what you know. It's who you know. You understand what I'm saying? Look at Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle can walk away from a $50 million check doing his own thing. What was his numbers looking like that he could come back and he could get money from Netflix? So it's not necessarily what you know. We can't say one comedian is funnier than the other. I saw Monique's show. I think Monique is funny as hell. You understand what I'm saying? She's a different kind of person and a different kind of comedian. We can't say one is funnier than the other. I'm just saying to you, to answer that question very directly, it's who you know in Hollywood, man. It's who you know. They're not sitting back looking at how many tickets were sold on whatever, because, you know, that's different. You know, they can look at the numbers you and I do on YouTube. That ain't gonna get me no damn check. You understand what I'm saying? Because we do numbers. You understand what I'm saying? So some on the surface they'll run that number game with you, but behind the scenes, man, it's not what you know. It's who you know in Hollywood, and it goes deeper than that. It's whether or not you're willing to play the game.
Okay.
It's willing. Are you willing to sign your blood on the dotted line? You understand what I'm saying? Are you willing to sacrifice your soul to a certain degree? What are you willing to do to get up in this space in Hollywood? Are you willing to sit on the casting couch? Are you willing to take the handshake, learn the handshake, and learn the code words, and get invited to the mansion parties? Are you willing to do some of the things they might ask you to do? So and that's real. We have to understand that particular dynamic when you look into the background and the sacrifice that some of the people have made that's already gotten favors from Hollywood, so to speak. So we need to understand that particular dynamic, man. Because we can name some people that cannot tell one goddamn joke and cannot act, but they're up in that space. Come on, man. I ain't mentioning no names. You know what I'm talking about. Some of these people are not funny, but they got a television show, a radio show, all kind of stuff. They're on game shows, and I don't think these people are funny at all. But anyway.
Professor Griff, do you give, when we talk about black entertainers in black America, do you give the black entertainers that came out in the 60s, the 50s, the 70s, do you give them more of a pass for selling their soul? They're black entertainers that's selling out in the 90s and 2000s, because maybe at that time we didn't know any better. We didn't know what we was getting ourselves into when it came to that industry. We didn't know how wicked that industry was. We didn't know where the casting couch was. We didn't know that they were looking to turn us out in that industry. So the brothers and sisters got caught up in some ish during that era. But now they should know better. Since they know better, they should do better. So do you give the old timers in Hollywood more of a pass when you hear about some of the shit they done, Richard Pryor and others like that?
Well, to be honest with you, Brother Rich, no, I truly don't. You know why? Because they've studied the comedians before them, and they know to a degree exactly what they're getting into. But you know what it is? it's curiosity, and it's not wanting to be poor. It's almost like I want to see what this thing is like for myself, not knowing whether I'm strong enough or have a foundation rooted in God, the Creator, Allah, Patah, Jah, Jesus, and whoever. Am I going to go in there and lose my religion? Am I going to go in there and lose my soul? Am I going to go in there and lose my mind? Well, I don't care what it is. I want to see. I want to see what this is like. So you have comedians now on YouTube confessing about their first gay love affair or their first little boy that they had. You understand what I'm saying? Or their first threesome, or the first drugs that they took that they didn't know what it was, their first acid trip, or their first whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But it almost seems like after curiosity is satisfied, we never see that original person that went into Hollywood. We never see them again. They become different people. And we can't even recognize them today. If y'all know who I'm talking about, and I'm sure y'all do. Some of these people go, we never see the original person again. So then now we got young cats coming up on YouTube saying, yo, you see this comedian over here? Yeah, he did X, Y, and Z, whatever. I think they killed him, and now who you seeing today is a clone. You understand what I'm saying? Not necessarily a clone, but that person went to Hollywood. It ends up in some of them circles, and they're not just the same individuals. I don't give the old ones a pass, and I'm definitely not giving the new ones a pass, Brother Rich. Why should we? They go up into Hollywood already knowing what these agendas are about. They know what the race mixing in Hollywood agenda is about. They know what the gay agenda is about. The transgender agenda in Hollywood is about. There's so many people on so many different levels with so many different ways they can express the whole idea of the occult agenda in Hollywood. The whole idea of the war against God in Hollywood. The whole idea of film directors becoming whistleblowers now and telling everything. So you ain't got to come up under this clip and call Professor Griff anti-this and anti-that and crazy. There's a whole bunch of people on YouTube laying it out. People that have actually been in these situations. And then, Brother Rich, deeper than that, go read the history of some of those people, and then let's do a part 2 to this, and then I'll tell you how many of them people lost their lives after exposing Hollywood, after exposing the new Hollywood anti-heterosexual and anti-male agenda. You understand what I'm saying? The anti-God agenda in Hollywood, the whole idea of the resurgence and the remix of MK Ultra, and the new 2018 Illuminati agenda. And how many of those people ended up dead? Come on, man. Stanley Kubrick. You remember him?
Yeah.
Or Eyes Wide Shut? What happened to him? Just for example, what happened to him? He was revealing certain things in certain movies, and he ended up murdered. Because there's some information that they didn't want to put out there. I revealed the fact that the military is working with Hollywood to pull some of these things off. The Pentagon is working with Hollywood. You understand what I'm saying? All of a sudden, strange things are happening to Griff or happening around me. And I'm like, wow, okay, there's certain things that they just don't want out. Plain and simple. That's just what it is in a nutshell. So we have to understand something when they take a nobody, so to speak, like Tiffany Haddish, and put her in Girls Trip and she blows up. But we can't say a nobody. The woman been working for damn 10, 15 years as a comedian, living in her car. So we can't say nobody. She's been working like all of us have been working. But anyway, I'm not her defense attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I don't even know Tiffany Haddish, but I know what I see, and I see her grind. Now, will she get caught up at the Jay-Z Beyonce party? I don't know. Will she get pulled aside and invited to the mansion parties and get caught up in those circles? We don't know that, Brother Rich. Someone heard that I was going to be on here with you tonight talking about this particular subject. Oh, man, you got to see this clip. You know she married a white man and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, look, me and Brother Rich, we don't do gossip. You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm going to fact check everything that we put on here. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know whether or not that was love or whether that was a move to get out of her car and sleep between some clean sheets. We don't know what it was. You understand what I'm saying? And I talked about that with you, Brother Rich, on your show, these arranged marriages.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to understand these particular dynamics and how they go down and dig into the deeper aspects of why they go down. But anyway, that's my answer to that, man. So the Richard Pryors and the Eddie Murphys and you know, these people kind of know the Sammy Davis Juniors and
right.
They know what they're getting into, man. There ain't no mystery, there ain't no secret.
Mm-hmm. You know, one of the complaints that I've heard people express about a personality such as Tiffany Haddish and those who portray themselves like her is that, you know, Hollywood wants her. When we're talking about Hollywood and them running with a narrative. So they're saying Hollywood wants her because she's ghetto. And they want that ghetto narrative. You know, she do her little thing and she ready and all that, you know. So they're like, yeah, Hollywood wants that ghetto black chick up there because that's what they want to portray. Some people look at it, Professor Griff, as her just being authentic, her being real. So I'm trying to find out, Professor Griff, what exactly is the difference between being authentic and being ghetto? Because sometimes when you're authentic, they say you're ghetto. And sometimes when you're ghetto, they say you're authentic. Is there a fine line, Professor Griff, between being real, keeping it real, and just keeping it plain old ghetto, Professor Griff?
Tiffany Haddish is authentically ghetto.
Okay.
If that's part of her comedic kind of way she wants to come across, I applaud her. Other people put on the dress, man. Other people don't have the wide range of characters they could pull out of them like a Eddie Murphy.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like a Jamie Foxx. You understand? Like the Wayans brothers. They don't have a wide range. Maybe this is where she's comfortable. You understand what I'm saying? Someone asked me to come speak and was going to pay me in advance to come speak at some school on a lecture about a subject and a topic that I wasn't too familiar with. I can't go because they offered me X amount of money and go fake it, Brother Rich. And I politely and humbly declined, and I said, well, no, that's not my lane. That's just not my lane. They wanted me to talk about transgenders, people's right to exist, and women's rights in sports, in music, and I mean, I can speak on it to a degree, but if that's not my lane, I'm not going to go stumble and fumble over some subject that I'm not too familiar with just to get a paycheck. I can't do that, man. When I see her and the way she acts and the role that she played, especially in Girls Trip, I'm like, wow, she feels comfortable in that role. Ice Cube felt comfortable in the first movie that I saw him in. What was that, Boys in the Hood? What was that? Yeah.
Yeah, Boys in the Hood, yeah.
I'm like, wow, if you cast me in a role where I could be the black militant revolutionary radical dude, shit, I get an Oscar. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's my lane. I don't have a problem playing that role. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So now the test is, as she grows as a comedian, now that she's out of her car, we can see the wide range of roles that, you know, that she may be asked to play. And let's see if she can pull it off. You understand what I'm saying? But she's still growing. So we have to understand that. Don't clip her wings. I'm just asking Katt Williams, give the sister a chance, man. Let's not clip her wings. And let's help the sister grow. You don't know what she might have to offer down the road. You understand what I'm saying? So come on, man. And let's not play games, Brother Rich. You laughed at that movie just like I laughed at that movie, regardless of what role Tiffany Haddish played in it.
Right.
That shit was funny as hell. You understand what I'm saying? Plain and simple. Because there's a lot of other people that made their introductory, role into the comedic world on film. And sometimes I didn't necessarily agree. Eddie Murphy was funny as hell. When I first seen Richard Pryor, I heard his records first before I even knew who Richard Pryor was. A lot of the roles that he played in movies, I didn't necessarily like. But Richard Pryor is just naturally funny. I thought Richard Pryor was telling us things that actually happened in his life. Listen, when I watch Kevin Hart, I'm like, wow, he sound like that stuff actually happened to him. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Which makes it authentically who they are, Brother Rich.
Indeed. Now, when it comes to black comedians, do you think should they have to get the okay from Black America before they excel in Hollywood? Like a lot of people felt as though Key and Peele, I think that's her name, Key and Peele.
Mm-hmm.
People felt as though they never got the okay from Black America, so they don't know why they blew up. They're like, where the hell did they come from? We didn't hear about them. And somebody said this on Vlad's channel. It might have been Lord Jamal. I'm not sure. But somebody was talking about this on Vlad's channel. Might have been Godfrey. I'm not sure. The brother Godfrey. But they were talking about how, certain people who are not handpicked by Black America usually don't work out in Hollywood as far as comedians. What's your take on that? Should we give the okay before somebody blows up in Hollywood like a Chappelle or like a Martin Lawrence? You know, we was rocking with Martin before Hollywood pick him up and put him in all the movies. Should it be like that, Professor Griff?
Well, I think the platform that Russell Simmons in Def Comedy Jam gave a lot of these comedians a platform just to be seen and heard. And that was their introduction. That was our introduction to these individuals. Mm-hmm. What Hollywood did or didn't do, Hollywood was not going to wait around for black people to give the thumbs up. You understand what I'm saying? Simply because a lot of that is based on whether or not black people can still make white people laugh. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I look at, let me tell you something, man. I think Chris Rock is funny as hell. He's a different kind of comedian than a Martin Lawrence.
I agree.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Chris Rock, you got to be careful with a Chris Rock because Chris Rock will tell some goddamn jokes. It'll be true as hell. And after you finish laughing, you got to think like, God damn, what he said was right. You understand what I'm saying? What's the other brother, man? The short brother. He did the movie with Master P. He's gonna kill me. Comedian. Sharp brother, man. What is his name? His name will come to me. Oh man, this is embarrassing.
What else was he in?
Oh, he was in, damn, he had his own specials, man. I think he did a sitcom too. Short, dark-skinned brother, man. Comedian, popular. Oh man, his name will come to me in a minute. Oh man, but anyway, he's one of the kind of comedians where he takes the truth and he hides it in the jokes and it'll hit you a week later, man. It hits you a week later. I gotta think of his brother's name before we get off of here, man. Anyway. But yeah, it's one of those kind of situations. Dave Chappelle and even Kevin Hart, they talk about these characters that we all know. You understand what I'm saying? That in our lives, that's around us. You understand what I'm saying? When I watch Key and Peele, now I don't know what black people are talking about or whether or not Key and Peele got to get anybody's submission. I've been watching Key and Peele for a long time, man. For a long time. You understand what I'm saying? There's a brother, I don't know his name, but he's on Wildin' Out. Now, I've had this brother's voice as my ringtone on my phone for a few years now. And I just saw him in a movie. So I know it's been 4 years that I've been on to this brother. He did a song on YouTube, and y'all can check it out. It's called Still Getting Whoopings. Still Getting Whoopings. Him and his brother did it together. I forgot the brother's name, man, but whoo, man, his brother is funny, man. So does he have to wait around to get black people's permission to be on a level of a Richard Pryor or a Dave Chappelle? Or no, I hope not, man. I truly hope not. I truly hope not. But black people have been doing their thing for a long time. There's some people I know, and I'm sure you know some, Brother Rich, that are funny as hell right now, but they're not thinking about doing it as a career. They just naturally that funny. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If Flavor Flav got his shit together, Flavor Flav is a naturally funny character. What roles can he play in Hollywood? I don't know. But Flavor Flav, when you really look at it, man, he's a court jester. He's a jokester. Funny as hell.
You know, Griff, I remember when I was young, I would hear people say things like, in terms of comedy and comedy shows and comedians, they would say things like, black people aren't intelligent enough to understand the comedy of Jerry Seinfeld. So black people don't like the Seinfeld show, or black people don't like shows like Friends. Black people like stuff more like Martin Lawrence. That's more of their intelligence. Is there what do you think about that statement? Is that just some, different cultures? Is there any truth to that statement? Is it, they give us buffoonery and their comedy has more IQ, or is it our shit is just more funnier than theirs and they don't want to admit it? What's your take on that statement?
No, it's just I could say it like my mom used to say it, or my auntie. Different strokes for different folks. I've only watched Seinfeld when I was stuck at a hotel somewhere and didn't have a damn thing to do and was tired after a show. I don't tune into the Seinfeld show. And that kind of stuff, I can't relate to it because culturally it's outside of the context on how I interact. All right, with who I am, A, B, with other people. Those situations, some of those situations that I see on Seinfeld, it's hard for me to relate. That doesn't take intelligence. It takes cultural intelligence, Brother Rich. What I see, and I got the brother's name, all right, so just to let you know, it's Eddie Griffin.
Eddie Griffin, okay. Damn, how you forget Eddie Griffin, man? Oh, man, okay,
no,
Eddie Griffin.
No, I know. But cultural intelligence, for example, when I watch Cedric the Entertainer, right? That's cultural intelligence. It's like, wow, the ability to morph aspects of his personal life, his character, the ability to make us laugh and then get up out of the seat and dance at the same time when all he's talking about is the barbecue that he went to. You understand what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's what's inside the cultural context, and we all can understand that. You understand what I'm saying? Bill Bellamy is good at that. I can laugh all day at Mike Epps, man. You understand what I'm saying? And God forbid, I don't know how many times over the last few years that I went back to watch Chris Tucker in Friday. You understand what I'm saying? All of which. And to be honest with you, when I first saw Bernie Mac, I didn't necessarily like Bernie Mac. But I started to understand Bernie Mac. Bernie Mac was a unique comedian. You understand what I'm saying? And somebody looked at Bernie Mac like he stutters, he talks a certain ways, he's probably country, and he's probably from the South. But that's the same kind of cultural intelligence as the Seinfeld. You understand what I'm saying? Like my auntie says, different strokes for different folks, and we gotta understand that. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I take the good and the bad that comes with D.L. Hughley But you cannot say that that man is not funny with the seriousness that he in his jokes and what he gives us, because that shit is real. That shit is real, man. You understand what I'm saying? When I listen to
I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry, but speaking of D.L. Hughley, he has a special that just came in on Netflix today. It's on Netflix. It's the
okay.
Yeah, so just want to let the people know that and let yourself know that if you want to go see it. But
I got to check it out. And we cannot say that there's not a degree of intelligence when we go back and watch Sanford and Son. Come on, man. You know why? Because it's characters that we can relate to. It's situations that we can. Aunt Esther. Tell me your ass ain't got an Aunt Esther in your family. Tell me you ain't got a drunk uncle that look like Fred Sanford. Come on, man. We gotta stop. So we gotta understand. So the Seinfeld, it's different strokes for different folks, man. Plain and simple. There's not too many, and I'm not taking anything away from the Jim Carreys or what was the other serious comedian name? Very serious, politically correct, not politically incorrect comedian. George Carlin. That's his name? George?
Yeah,
oh my God. Yeah. Funny as hell, man. He's just a different kind of comedian. And we just have to understand that, man. For real.
Professor Griff, I got 2 more questions for you, my brother. Do you think rich people, I watched the response after Katt Williams spoke about, Kevin Hart and others. I seen Kevin Hart respond and Tiffany Haddish respond. Do you think rich people have the inability, and maybe this don't apply to Katt Williams because he has money as well, just like them, but do you think rich people have the inability to take criticism especially from people in general, but especially from people who have less money from them? They automatically lump it into the category of you're hating on me. Do you think that's the case with people who are, when I say rich, I mean fiat rich, because, you could be rich in many different ways in this life, but people who have that green paper, do they automatically assume people are hating on them, especially if they have less green paper than them, if they criticize them?
Yeah, that's the first thought, simply because we live in a society where you're judged by things, having things. You're judged by whether or not you can purchase this $250,000 car on the spot. We're judged by how many things we're leaving our children. And our children right now could be failing school, on drugs, crackheads, or just murdered somebody or whatever. But we don't care about that because we're so fixated on being measured by what we have, especially in these relationships we could get people based. We don't care how we look. We can get people based on what we have. I saw a meme about Flavor Flav. They said, well, if Flavor can go on the Flavor of Love and have 13 women competing for his affection and his love and to be with him, the floodgates are open. Any man can get any woman nowadays. I don't know whether people looked at the meme as being insulting or funny. Mm-hmm. But basically what they were saying, if Flavor Flav can get a woman, anybody can. Once again, different strokes for different folks. If you have millions and millions of dollars and somebody with hundreds of dollars give you their opinion about something that you're saying or doing and critiquing your work, you can't shoot them down because they don't have more money than you. You understand what I'm saying? We didn't know how much money Dick Gregory had. But Dick Gregory talked about a whole bunch of white people. Very successful comedian, very successful nutritionist, sold water, he sold vitamins, he sold all kind of stuff. He ran for president, he's a comedian, he's a lecturer, he's a speaker. Am I right or wrong?
Indeed.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of people didn't understand old school artists. What's her name?
Mom's Mabley. My auntie used to watch Mom's Mabley. My mom used to watch that. So just because, you know, somebody like Tommy Davidson, who's funny as hell, naturally funny, may make a comment about some of these comedians that have millions of dollars. I mean, come on. Because I think Monique did it. Monique made some statements about some of these artists getting these Netflix deals, and, you know, Monique wasn't playing. Monique was laying out what she knew to be the truth. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I think, what's the name did that also? Bernie Mac did it also. Bernie Mac was like, well, wait, you're giving everybody else a show. What about me? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And maybe they was looking at the Flip Wilson model. Maybe they was looking at the Richard Pryor model. Maybe they was looking at the Will Smith model. We don't know. There's sometimes I drive by the comedy club and I look at the board and see who's performing this weekend and be like, nah, I seen some of the things they did on YouTube and I'm not in the mood for that kind of comedy. Plain and simple. So, yeah, they're assuming that they're assuming that these people are player hating simply because they're not in the same economic bracket or financial tax bracket as the next person. So they get, you know, basically you have no right to talk. You understand what I'm saying? I don't count people's money. You understand what I'm saying? I tend to be drawn to some of those comedians that tell the truth. Ari Spears, when he imitated DMX, Jay-Z, John Wayne, and whoever else Arnold Schwarzenegger, yo, I was rolling on the floor, man. I was laughing for days. Because I just think that the brother's funny. You understand what I'm saying? Paul Mooney is a very serious comedian. And one of those kind of individuals that have been in Hollywood for a long time and have war stories to tell about Hollywood. I think John Witherspoon, I know I'm calling the role, but John Witherspoon is a naturally funny comedian.
Yeah, he is, definitely.
But should he criticize some of the white comedians that are out there? I think he should. We don't know what he got in his bank account. We don't know.
Got one last question for you, Professor Griff. We often hear people criticize, you know, they just had the Emmys, and we hear about these white award shows, the Emmys, the Grammys, the Golden Globes, and you know, our people always say F the Emmys or F the Grammys or F the Golden Globes, or you know, it don't mean nothing. What I want to know is when you have a craft, when you have an art form that you work hard on, you know, you do music, Professor Griff. You do, you know, you lecture, you're a teacher, you do many things. Is anything? Do you see anything wrong with are people still going there to get recognized by these white award shows, whether it be the Emmys or Grammys? And let's say, for example, if the Emmy said, Griff, we want to give you an award for your podcast or for your documentary or for this or that, would there be anything wrong? Would that make you less pro-black, Professor Griff, if you went and got your Emmy award and made a pro-black speech? Would that make you a hypocrite or any less pro-black, Professor Griff?
I'm making pro-human, pro-black, radical, politically charged music right now as we speak, Brother Rich. And I'm in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I walked across the stage. I made my one statement. Revolution is not an event. It's a process. You understand what I'm saying? I got my award that night, shook some hands, took some pictures, thanked some people, and went on about my business. You daggone right I'm going to get my award. You understand what I'm saying? All the hard work and the sacrifice that I put in, now I'm going to get my award. It's just being recognized by your peers, being recognized for your work. But my thing is, I'm not going to turn down the Black Power Awards.
Okay.
I'm going there to get my award too. And I got both of them sitting on the shelf next to one another. You understand what I'm saying? I walked in my wife's office today, and I asked her, "What's this?" She said, "Oh, that's my Billboard award." I said, "I ain't getting no damn Billboard award." and I read it. It said because the song that she did with JT Money, "Who Dat?" I'm like, "Wow, okay, that's cool." So my thing is, yes, we should honor one another and support one another in the work that we do, and award one another. And whether it's a small plaque or a rolled up piece of paper or whatever it is, or you just supporting those individuals. I know some brothers and sisters, Brother Rich, that, like, for example, there's this white guy I know. I ain't gonna mention his name. I don't know if he want people to know that he know me. He got a tattoo, a Flavor Flav tattooed on him.
Mm-hmm.
That's forever. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, should white people stop supporting black artists simply because other black people don't support black artists? No, they shouldn't. Do we look for the award show, the Black Award Show, to recognize Professor Griff's sacrifice in the music industry, to kick down some of those doors so black artists can be recognized? Yeah. But if I was waiting around on that, I'd be waiting up for a long time, man, until I'm old and gray. But you know what black people do? Black people, when they see me, they say, "Thank you, Griff, man." Or a lot of people call me and say, "Yo, man, I just want to thank you, bro. I want to thank you for the sacrifice that you made." And I get them calls every single week, man. Everywhere I go. Matter of fact, me and my wife went to have a veggie hot dog, a vegan veggie hot dog at a Yeah Burger. And some brother walked up to me. He's like, "Yo, man, I know you don't know me, whatever, but I know who you are. Thanks for your sacrifice, man." You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Tell Brother Rich I said, "What's up?" But I get that. So to wait on the big award show for black people to stand up and give Professor Griffin a round of applause for the work he did in Public Enemy and the work I've done on YouTube and in the black community, I'm not going to wait around on it, man, because I get mine every day from black people. I feel the love. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? I haven't had that experience. My house burned down. Black people came to the rescue and supported me. You understand what I'm saying? So I get mine from black people every day. But I do have to admit and say that I did watch Blackish, and I seen Anthony Anderson doing his thing. And I saw a Chris Brown video the other day, and I seen D-Ray is his name. I saw D-Ray. Let me tell you something, man. Hollywood Shuffle. What's the brother's name? Hollywood Shuffle. Come on, help me out, Brother Rich.
Not Nick Cannon, right?
Nah, Nick Cannon is definitely doing his thing though. But this brother's was in. He was in. Oh my God, he gonna kill me. I don't know what's happening with my brain, but it'll come back.
I don't watch much TV, so I don't know the names of these people.
No. This brother is really popular. He was in the 5 Heartbeats. Who was one of the main characters, comedians in the 5 Heartbeats, man? Come on, man. Anyway, he know what I'm talking about. But Sinbad is funny to me. David Allen Greer is funny as hell, naturally. You understand what I'm saying? My children used to watch, what's the dude that played in the movie Fat Albert? Keenan Thompson.
Oh, okay.
He played Fat Albert.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, man, I mean, brother Rich, come on, man. We are black people. Even when you go way back in the day, man, you'll see us telling jokes, man, just to make the damn day go by. I used to work at a warehouse, Brother Rich, making some green slime. I think it was for Silly Putty we was making. I didn't know what the hell we was making, but that job was boring as hell. You understand what I'm saying? I was the funniest dude on the line because I had to tell some jokes just to make the what's the name? And it's always the dark-skinned, fat, black, chubby, big dude that was the funniest. You understand what I'm saying? Like Lavelle Crawford. I'm sure like a Robin Harris. You understand what I'm saying? Just to make the day go by, man. And we didn't judge these particular individuals. They was funny. They made us laugh, and that's the way we kind of dealt with it, and that's the way we looked at it. You gonna I'm gonna beat myself up for not remembering this brother's name, who was in the 5 Heartbeats. Help me out, Brother Rich.
Let me see if I.
Who was a comedian in the 5 Heartbeats? Hold up. I gotta go. I can. 5 Heartbeats. Hold up, man. Because
Robert Townsend. Robert Townsend?
Ah, Robert. No, that's it.
Okay.
Robert Townsend, that's him, man.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, man, Robert Townsend. But I can honestly say for everybody that I've mentioned, all these comedians, the Wayans brothers, all of them, they've helped me and all of us get through some rough times. I wish Tiffany Haddish the best. I'm going to support her, and I'm also going to support the Katt Williams of the world. You understand what I'm saying? I just want to let them know that some of these people in Hollywood are under a spell, man, and they need to be mindful and careful of the mind control subliminal messages that they may be forced to put in some of their movies. Hollywood has an agenda. TV has an agenda. There's a monarch mind control program that's still going on in Hollywood. You understand what I'm saying? And we have to understand that they find these trauma-based comedians and trauma-based rappers and trauma-based entertainers. They don't know what to do with Jim Carrey. They don't know whether to kill him, silence him, or give him more money to shut up. You follow what I'm saying?
Right, right.
But anyway, I wish all of the people that I mentioned the best. Keep making us laugh and do what you do. You understand what I'm saying? And all of us should support them. Plain and simple. The Moniques of the world, of course, we should support them. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. Especially the Tiffany Haddishes that once we get to know who they are, so they can tell their real story. Yeah, man. Come on, bro. Yeah. I mean, sleeping in the car, brother, that's not a good thing, man. It's not a good thing. Support all the comedians. Except Bill Cosby's ass. Fuck him.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
Griff hard on Bill Cosby, man. Okay.
Yeah, listen, I'm going to give Whoopi Goldberg and Wanda Sykes, I'm going to give them a pass. You understand what I'm saying? I still love Monique, but the Bill Cosbys of the world drugging people, regardless of the complexion of the people, that's just not cool with me, man. Don't do that to the women. And don't mess with the babies, man. You understand what I'm saying? Nah, them times they not gonna get a pass from me. I'm gonna give all the other people I mentioned a pass, but the Bill Cosby's of the world just not gonna get. I love Leslie Jones. I just don't understand some of the things that I see her in, but I still support the sister. You understand what I'm saying? She called me right now and said, Professor Griff, can you give me some help on this thing? I'd probably give her Bruce's phone number or Nipsey Russell's phone number or somebody. But anyway. I respect you, Brother Rich, and let's keep this thing moving and keep it going, man. Definitely, brother.
Leave your info one more time, my brother, so the people can holler at you.
Okay, I finally put my Sirius Mindz Patreon page together so they can, if they want to donate and support me, they can go to patreon.com/Sirius Mindz. And of course, I still need help with the Oculus, brothers and sisters, so please look Professor Griff up. The film is called Oculus 8. Just go to your search engine and put in Professor Griff's film, Oculus 8. Go to the GoFundMe page and definitely support. My phone number is 678-557-2919. Brother Rich, October 11th, I am going to do my class dealing with symbolic thought. I'm going to break down the whole idea on how they use symbols to manipulate our thinking, Brother Rich, and persuade our thinking to these different, and this is a form of mind control. It's called symbolic thought. That class is going to happen on October 11th at 7 o'clock. So I need people to sign up for the class, and you can sign up for the class at www.paypal.me/Professor Griff Corp. That's Professor Griff Corp. PayPal.me/Professor Griff Corp. Brother Rich, I am launching my app at the 24th annual LOX conference that's coming up on the 6th and 7th of October in Philly. So it's an app that these developers are developing for me. And Brother Rich, when they go to shut us down on this social media, we will be able to communicate with one another and still do our show via the app. The app is $1.99 to download, and it's a beautiful thing, Brother Rich, and we'll be able to communicate with one another, because what happened to Alex Jones, Minister Farrakhan, Willie D, with social media shutting them down. I'm talking about Twitter, Netflix, and all of them shutting down Minister Farrakhan, YouTube shutting down Willie D, and what they did to Alex Jones. Come on, man, that's a sign. That's a warning shot, Brother Rich. For you and I, we need to take notice. For me, you, Sonetta, the Pills, everybody else, to take notice on what's going on, man. You understand what I'm saying? And it's real. My phone number is 678-557-2919. The name of the app is simply Sirius Mindz, man. So we're launching it that weekend, and it's only $1.99, man. And I'm able to people can take the classes. They can see the live stream lecture through the app. Can you imagine that? You go to do a lecture, and you can have people, you can live stream it through your app right to people's phones.
That's dope.
Right. So that's a beautiful thing. That's where we need to be, Brother Rich. So hopefully I'm getting this thing out. I'm introduced to the developers and the people that I'm working with, Brother Rich, so you can get the Black Magic 363 app. You understand what I'm saying? So we can move this thing. Let me tell you something, man. It's going to be a digital divide in a minute. Those of us that's ahead of this game are the only ones that's going to be seen and heard, man, because YouTube is going to start tightening the grip. You understand what I'm saying? That 0.04 cents we get on YouTube, man, is critical. But anyway, we gotta keep grinding. Rise and grind, man. Rise and grind. All right, good brother. Really appreciate you, man.
Indeed, man. I want to appreciate you for coming on the show. It's always a pleasure to have the living legend back on the show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This is Brother Rich, Underground Railroad, with Professor Griff from Sirius Mindz, and we are signing out, family. Peace.
Peace.
Joint Balance Formula. For healthy joints, get 3 bottles for $47.97 or 1 bottle for $22.97. Get your supply today. Visit us online at riversidetaichi.com/joint balance formula.
Hieroglyphic Visions, a digital marketing services company. We provide digital services for your company, such as flyer design, online marketing, ad placement, logo design, and more. Contact King Gaddy at 706-914-6238 or email at kinggaddy7@gmail.com. Let me bring your vision to fruition. Peace.
Greetings, this is Professor Griff of Public Enemy. Welcome to the Oculus Inc. The Oculus, they are the ultra secret society. They are the ones that manipulate and control your perception. They're actually the gatekeepers of your perception. The Oculus are the ones that actually write the prescription. They are the ones to determine who and why you're seeing what you're actually seeing through signs and symbols. These signs and symbols, we see them every single day. Your banks, your fast food stores, energy companies, gas stations, car companies, sports teams, all of them have signs and symbols that they use in such a way where they speak a language to one another. These are the things that the Oculus controls. The Oculus Inc.
Hold it now. Yo. Professor Griff. So late. Let's do this. Come on. I swear on mine, if my people cry, if black people die while the president lies. See the devil listen to his lying ass. Building walls in the streets with his orange ass. I'm taking
in the eye. In these perilous times, where the enemy is roaring, see me made of our word.